Picture this. A 17-year-old Italian kid walks into the most dangerous sport on the planet. Within a year, he's world champion. Within a decade, he's rewriting the rules of what's possible on two wheels. And by the time he hangs up his helmet, he's not just a racer. He's a cultural phenomenon who changed motorsport forever. This is the story of Valentino Rossi. 9 world championships, 115 Grand Prix victories, and rivalries so intense they nearly tore the sport apart. But here's what makes this story truly incredible. It's not just about winning. It's about a man who refused to play it safe, who gambled everything on impossible moves, and who turned racing into theater. Let me take you back to 1996. A 17-year-old Valentino Rossi makes his Grand Prix debut on an Aprilia RS 125. His helmet reads Rossi Fumi, a tribute to his hero, Japanese rider Norifumi Abe. He names his bike Tino. Already the showmanship is there. But here's the thing about Rossi that separated him from every other fast kid on the grid. He wasn't just quick, he was smart. Scary smart. In his debut season, he's learning, adapting, figuring out the game. Then, in round 10 at Brno, Czech Republic, something clicks. Rossi takes his first Grand Prix victory. He's 17 years old, and he's just announced himself to the world. But 1997? That's when the legend truly begins. Rossi comes back to the 125cc class with a mission. This isn't about learning anymore. This is about domination. In 15 races, he wins 11 of them. He's not just beating riders, he's psychologically destroying them. His riding style is aggressive but controlled, like a surgeon with a scalpel who also happens to be completely insane. When he clinches that 1997 125cc World Championship, something interesting happens. Other riders start watching him differently. There's this aura developing, this sense that Rossi doesn't just race motorcycles, he conducts them like a maestro. In 1998, he jumps to 250cc, the middle class where the real killers live. Riders like Loris Capirossi, Tetsuya Harada, guys who've been doing this for years. Rossi's second race, he's on the podium. By Assen, he's winning. This is a 19-year-old kid making seasoned professionals look like amateurs. But here's what's really happening. Rossi isn't just fast, he's reading races like a chess grandmaster. He can see 3 moves ahead. He knows when to attack, when to wait, when to make his rivals crack under pressure. 1999 is where it gets scary. Rossi wins 9 out of 16 races in the 250cc class. But it's not just the winning, it's how he celebrates. Inflatable dolls, inside jokes, theatrical performances. He's turning motorcycle racing into entertainment, and the fans are eating it up. 2 world titles down. But Rossi's looking up at the 500cc class, the premier category where legends are made and careers are destroyed. The year 2000. Rossi steps into the 500cc class, and it's like watching a college quarterback suddenly playing in the NFL. These aren't just motorcycles. They're 180 horsepower, 2-stroke monsters that will kill you if you make one mistake. His first few races, crashes. Lots of them. The bike is trying to murder him, and for the first time in his career, Rossi looks human. But then something beautiful happens. Donington Park, England. It's raining. The great equalizer in motorcycle racing. And in the rain, Rossi is poetry in motion. He wins his first 500cc race, and suddenly everyone realizes, this kid isn't just talented, he's special. He finishes second in the championship behind Kenny Roberts Jr., but everyone knows what's coming next. 2001 arrives, and Rossi has figured out the 500cc game. He wins 11 out of 16 races. 11! He's not just beating the field, he's lapping them. This is the last year of the traditional 500cc 2-strokes, and Rossi sends them out with a masterclass in domination. But here's the kicker. 2002 brings a revolution. The sport is changing to 4-stroke MotoGP machines, and everyone's starting from zero again. Enter the Honda RC2 11V, a technological masterpiece that's about to become Rossi's weapon of mass destruction. In 2002, Rossi wins the first MotoGP race ever at Suzuka. Then he wins 10 more. He's not just adapting to the new era, he's defining it. The combination of Rossi's genius and Honda's engineering creates something unprecedented in motorsport. 2003, 9 more victories. At this point, Rossi isn't racing against other riders, he's racing against perfection itself. But here's where the story takes an incredible turn. Despite all this success, Rossi is getting restless. Honda treats him like a component in their machine, rather than the artist he is. They believe their technology is what's winning races. Rossi believes otherwise. So he does something that shocks the entire motorsport world. He leaves Honda, the dominant manufacturer, and signs with Yamaha, a team that hasn't won a championship since 1992. Everyone thinks he's lost his mind. The media calls it career suicide. Even his fans are worried. They have no idea what's about to happen. South Africa, 2004. The opening race of the season. Rossi lines up on his new Yamaha M1, and the entire paddock is watching. Can he win on inferior machinery? Was it really the Honda, or was it really Rossi? The race comes down to a final lap duel with Max Biaggi on the superior Honda. And in a moment that defines his entire career, Rossi outbrakes Biaggi into the final corner and wins. After the race, Rossi sits on the track next to his bike, hands covering his face, overwhelmed by emotion. He's just proved that it wasn't the machine. It was the man. He goes on to win the 2004 championship with Yamaha. 9 victories, epic battles with Sete Gibernau, and a statement that echoes through motorsport history. The rider makes the difference. 2005 is even better. 11 victories. Total domination. Rossi is now not just a racer, he's a global icon. His number 46 is everywhere. His celebrations are legendary. He's transcended sport and become culture. But every king eventually faces a challenger. Let's talk about what made Rossi truly special. His ability to get inside his rivals' heads and destroy them psychologically. Max Biaggi was first. The proud Roman versus the playful kid from Tavullia. Their rivalry was personal, bitter, and absolutely captivating. Rossi didn't just beat Biaggi on track, he humiliated him with celebrations, mind games, and pure psychological warfare. When Rossi passed Biaggi at Jerez in 2004, it wasn't just a pass, it was a statement. Sete Gibernau came next. The Spaniard was fast, professional, and dignified, which made what Rossi did to him even more devastating. Jerez 2005, last corner, last lap. Rossi goes inside, Gibernau goes wide, and Rossi wins. But it's what happened after that's truly remarkable. Gibernau never won another race, ever. Rossi had broken him mentally. Then came Casey Stoner. Pure speed versus pure charisma. Stoner was probably the most naturally talented rider Rossi ever faced, but he couldn't handle Rossi's mind games. Their battle at Laguna Seca, 2008, is the stuff of legend. Rossi passing Stoner through the gravel at the corkscrew, one of the most audacious moves in racing history. Jorge Lorenzo was different. He was Rossi's teammate at Yamaha, which made their rivalry a civil war. Lorenzo was metronomic, precise, and mentally bulletproof. Their battles split the Yamaha garage down the middle and created some of the most intense racing ever seen. But the rivalry that would define the final chapter of Rossi's career was still to come. Enter Marc Márquez in 2013, a 20-year-old Spanish kid who rides like Rossi used to, on the absolute edge of disaster, but somehow always in control. At first, there's mutual respect. Rossi sees something of his younger self in Márquez. But as Márquez starts winning everything in sight, the dynamic changes. 2015 becomes the most controversial season in MotoGP history. Rossi, now 36, is having a renaissance. He's leading the championship, fighting for that elusive 10th world title. But Márquez, who's already out of title contention, seems to be interfering in the battle between Rossi and Lorenzo. The tension explodes in Malaysia. Rossi accuses Márquez of helping Lorenzo. During the race, the two collide, Márquez crashes, and Rossi is penalized for the final race. Valencia, 2015. Rossi starts from the back of the grid, charges through the field, but finishes 4th. Lorenzo wins the race and the championship by just 5 points. Rossi's 10th title slips away, and his relationship with Márquez is destroyed forever. It's a wound that never heals. The years after 2015 are bittersweet. Rossi is still fast, incredibly fast for a man in his late 30s and early 40s. He wins races, stands on podiums, and continues to be the most popular rider in the paddock. But that 10th championship remains elusive. The young lions, Márquez, Quartararo, Bagnaia, are too strong, too hungry. In 2021, at age 42, Rossi makes the announcement everyone knew was coming, but nobody wanted to hear. He's retiring from MotoGP. His final race in Valencia is emotional. Riders give him a guard of honor. Fans weep. An era is ending. But here's the thing about legends. They don't really retire. In 2022, Rossi trades 2 wheels for 4, joining the GT World Challenge Europe with Team WRT. The skeptics say he's too old. that car racing is different, that his best days are behind him. They're wrong. In 2023, driving a BMW M4 GT3, Rossi wins his first GT race at Misano, his home track. The crowd goes wild. The passion is still there. The speed is still there. Now in 2025, he's still chasing that next victory, still proving that age is just a number when you have the heart of a racer. So what is the legacy of Valentino Rossi? 9 world championships, 115 Grand Prix victories, 235 podiums, numbers that tell only part of the story. The real legacy is what he did to motorcycle racing itself. He took a niche sport and made it mainstream. He turned races into theater, rivalries into soap operas, and himself into a global icon. He proved that in an age of increasing technology and corporate control, individual brilliance still matters. That personality and charisma can be just as important as horsepower and aerodynamics. He showed us that you can be ruthless on track and beloved off it, that you can be a killer in competition and a gentleman in defeat. Most importantly, he taught us that racing isn't just about being fast, it's about being unforgettable. From that 17-year-old kid who named his bike Tina, to the 46-year-old veteran still chasing checkered flags in GT cars, Valentino Rossi has lived a life that most of us can only dream of. He didn't just race motorcycles, he made them dance. And that, my friends, is why Valentino Rossi isn't just a champion, he's a legend. The doctor will see you now and forever.